And then now we'll be looking at improving your communication skills. Improving your communication skills. Now, effective communication for formators can be extremely powerful. Formation communication can not only connect, motivate, and clarify for your candidate, but also has the power to do the exact opposite. Now, poor communication skills can divide, disrupt, and confuse your candidates. Research has proven that formators' communication is directly related to the congregation's bottom line. Quantum states that when poor communication transpires from the top down, it can cost large communities millions of dollars each year. Millions of dollars each year. Now, what does that mean? For instance, now the church is talking about cases of abuse of minor, and all of those things. Now, when you do not communicate properly to your formandees that you do not touch a minor, you don't have anything to do with them, and eventually they fall in that trap, your congregation will pay hell because they carry your identity. After mass in parishes in Nigeria, children run to you and embrace you. Oh, Padre, in fact, you carry them. But if you do the same in the Western world and the mother accuses you that you aroused the baby, then you know you are in for it. So you must immediately let your formandee, even right from formation, begin to understand the difference between what is obtainable in different places. So you must communicate that very, very well. We have a priest now whose faculty has been removed. What did he do? A woman came to beg and cry that her husband is maltreating, and he consoled the woman, and then tried to start talking with the woman and give some advice. So the husband gets to know and eventually sued the priest to court for breaking his oath. We had a case also in Nigeria. Father Callistus is very familiar with that case too. Such case that removed even the faculty of the priest forever. Well, they could have gone extreme, do something, but it's okay. But again, it's simply because this priest did not know the limits of what could be done. I could remember that during confession, somebody is crying. You don't start touching and consoling. From consoling, you may console other things. It's better you throw handkerchief and stay away from the situation and get it better. Now, for formators to be effective communicator, it's not just part of the job. It is the main job. Thriving communities will have open lines of communication from the top down. Now, below, you will find 8 best practices to improve your formation communication skills. Now, number 1, transparency. Now, you observe that these things I'm talking about are the same thing that I'm using different ways to emphasize and keep talking about it. Now, formators that demonstrate transparency strive to practice what they preach and consistently have clear expectations and communicate effectively. Now, this requires a desire and willingness to be open and honest with your teams, while also demonstrating a level of humility and vulnerability. Now, you must be open with the other formators. You must be open to them. They must know what is the next stage we are going into. You must be on the same page. Now, if you are 3 or 2 formators in a community, a formandee have one of them as his friend, maybe a family friend or whatever, who already tell the formandee what will happen in the community tomorrow. Now, this one you thought you have trusted and told this information that is supposed to be privileged information is going to tell his very close friend privilegedly, and also inform the friend not to let any other person know. At the end of the day, everybody in the community knows, and except you. So you must be very careful, even when you give such information. The number 2 is the same confidence that we have spoken about. Now, if you display a lack of confidence, your candidate may feel apprehensive and apathetic. Now, it is critical to display a level of confidence that is unique to you, so it does not come off as arrogant or too forthcoming. Confidence helps to bring uniformity and trust to your formandees. But be careful, because if you're overconfident, it can also be interpreted to be that you are arrogant. Virtues that are supposed to be blessing can also become a curse, depending on how you use it. For instance, if you talk so well, you are eloquent, right? Now, because you talk so well, you now keep talking, you become talkative. So that whatever gift, whatever you are displaying should be, with prudence, high level of prudence. Now, you need to encourage dialogue. Now, as mentioned above, effective communications go both ways. Encourage your candidate to speak up, provide feedback, and ask questions. But I must warn you very clearly here. Now, if you say you want to open, candidate to evaluate you, then you come in the chapel or in a meeting and gather your formandee, and you expected feedback from them publicly. How is my job as formator? You may leave that place crying. It's just like somebody who wants to tear onions. Be very careful. Because formandee can boldly tell you, Father, in fact, you are the most stupid formator I've ever met. Because when you think you want to get feedback, you are expecting to get positive things that you have done. Except you are 100% mature that you can be told your defect and still accept it publicly. I cannot, so I won't give such rule. Now, how do I get my own feedback? I expect during the evaluation to sit with the candidate and let you talk to me, and I will first put my Bible beside and let the formandee know that whatever we discuss here is sealed. And I'm promising you that the truth you are telling me about myself, I will use to improve and never to use against you. It's very difficult to do, but it is necessary. Because you may not know when you start acting it out. Because the formandee have told you certain evil things about yourself, there is tendency not to 100% love the commandee again. So any little thing he does again, you are likely to be reacting. So you must watch it. You must watch it very carefully. So you must ask yourself, do I really want the best for the church or my own emotions? So if your work is for the church, then you allow all of these things to go on smoothly. Number 3, you must have strong coaching skills. A formator is a coach. Coaching is an integral part of performance, support, and management because it empowers your candidates and is one of the keys to building and maintaining a self-motivated community. You must be good at what you do. You must coach them. You must guide them. You are not a boss, but you are rather a coach. You help them. The coach select the best of the football teams. He is also with them playing on the ground or the field. A coach does not stay upstairs and give instructions. A coach is there when they are doing labor. A coach is there when they are, praying. A coach is there when they are eating. Because even from the way your formandee takes meal, you can begin to understand those who are selfish. There are formandees that in the refectory, even when the food is more, they dish out their own food. They say food is not enough. They are not even willing to share. So you don't need to fight them. At least it helps you to understand them, and then you begin to know how to work on such formandee. So you must be a coach and not a boss. Now, number 4, right? Yeah. Communicate goals and responsibilities clearly. Yeah.
Your camera, I think you changed the position because the previous one, so we are seeing you slanted.
You are not seeing me?
We are seeing you slanted, not the normal.
Okay, let me try. Is it okay now? No.
I think it should be network that changed.
I think it's okay now. Oh, I should reduce the volume.
Let me check it.
Your network will reconnect. I've been trying it, but it wasn't working.
Thank you, Father.
Okay. Okay. Communicate goals and responsibilities clearly. Now, giving clear direction is one of the most important tasks of any formator. By communicating the visions and goals of something as simple as job responsibilities, formator help to motivate the team to achieve top efficiency and success. Like Sister said last time, that the most senior is supposed to. So if the community already know that the most senior is the one who takes charge of this, things are very clear. No other person will assume the position of authority because it's very clear in the mind of everybody who does what. In our own setting, there is what we call auxiliary. Auxiliary is the mediator between the formandee and the brothers. So when the formators are not around, even when they are around, the auxiliary coordinates the things. Like in the refectory, the auxiliary can easily tell the formators that I think brothers are done with their own food. Because the formators may be gisting football and other things. So they come immediately to term with that and then ask them to go. So these functions must be clear, and the one who do it must know that this is so that there is no distortion, there is no confusion. Now, know your audience and utilize the storytelling approach. Storytelling. Now, true formators naturally demonstrate respect for their candidates and their congregation and understand that storytelling has the ability to resonate and engage the people. Now, storytelling approach can also help to build empathy within the community. Yeah, you may be wondering what kind of story am I talking about here? I'm not talking of ancient tales. I'm not talking of any kind of story, but the stories about the founder of the congregation, about the congregation, and the past wonderful leaders of the congregation that will motivate them to do the right thing. It is also good to tell them stories of the bad people of the congregation so that they know that this is not accepted. Now, when the formator begins to tell them about himself, his own life and everything, no, you are not forming them for the congregation. So if you as a formator did not know the life of your congregation properly, the histories, the stories, and the basic nuances, then you must go back to learn them. Because when you tell them these stories, that it helps them to understand the congregation that they have come to join. Vocationists, for instance, all of us know that we are children of a poor mother. So you are not expected to come and ask for chicken in the refectory or ask for fruit after meal. Because they have been told the story of how our founder never provide that. And always tell us that we are children of a poor parent, even when our priests use big cars and expensive laptops. No? So the stories help to shape your audiences. Now, you also need to understand the importance of training. Now, a good formator believes that the development and growth of their candidate is pertinent to the success of the congregation. They lead by example. Formators know that training is an opportunity for candidates to not only improve their skills and grow their knowledge base, but also become more effective in the formation process. Do not for any reason stop your novices from going to a counter. No, as in no matter the condition, no matter how difficult, ensure that they go for that program because they are going to learn among others. Never stop your novices from reading the life of saints while in novitiate, because that will keep them for the rest of their life or spiritual year. Now, sometimes there are certain things in the congregation area that are needed. Now, the world is moving. Every congregation now is online on Facebook. Now, if you don't train your own candidates, one or two, to manage this equipment, then your congregation will keep paying externals to do them for you. Now, there are certain things as a formator that you cannot do yourself because you do not have the capacity, but you can bring in experts to help to train these people. Now, the question that you would ask me immediately, what about fund? Fund is not everything. Now, when you look well within your surrounding, there are a few things you can do well that does not require fund. Now, novices are female that are well trained to go into bakery, to know how to make hairdo and sew cloths, would become a big asset for the congregation wherever they found themselves. Well, for the boys, it may not be the same. There could be other areas. Another thing you must do is to challenge your candidates. Formators are not just present to support their formandees, but they also need to challenge them to be the best that they can and reach their full potential. This can include everything from pushing the candidate out of their comfort zones to make them better than how you met them. There are many of them who naturally will not want to do anything. So you must challenge them. You must set tasks for them, and you must ensure that they achieve those tasks. That 1 year of novitiate, the first year in novitiate, I want everybody here to learn diction. Aside what other programs, then the second year, I want everybody here now to know how to use the breviary, to open it and pray it. You set those goals, and then you ensure that everybody in your community goes through that process and learn them. Some are quick uptake, some are slow. In any way, it is your duty to ensure that those who are not quick uptake are not left behind, so that they now feel that, wow, we cannot do it. And then you move on with those who are fast. In my teaching experience, when I teach people in class, those who sit in front sometimes, they answer questions quickly. And there is a temptation of thinking that the whole class, you are carrying everybody along. But you must be able to slow down sometimes and identify those who are slow and still reach out to them. One beautiful thing that you must learn as a formator is to laugh. Laugh. And I'll tell you the benefit of laughing. If you cannot laugh before your formandee, go to the bush and laugh. Or you call your friends. It reduces heart disease. In fact, it's a natural painkiller. It improves your breathing. It gives you good sleep and make you look young. It makes you happy. So there is no reason not to laugh as a formator, because your job makes you that you want to frown, you want to make it look as if our work is so serious. You want to hire your cassock, you want to appear before the formandee clean, flawless. Brother and sister, you are human. You are human, and you need this also. Now, in summation, for your formation now to run efficiently and effectively, it must have effective communication at the leadership level. Continue to develop communication by showing confidence and with all levels of candidates. Communicate with distinction by focusing on direction and strategy. Define skills by using storytelling, like I've said, and connecting with your people. Remember, communication is at the heart of every successful formation team, and it all starts at all formators level. Wow. I wish the slides were showing. I put here whether you have any questions. Let me show you whether you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you see this picture there?
No.
You can't see the picture on the screen? I mean, the laptop.
No.
Yeah?
You can see.
Have you seen Father Ebube Monso
You need to help.
with a man and a wife? Then there are Harom, Ebube Monso, and the child. The question is who owns the child? Ebube Monso or the man? The woman was coming to Ebube Monso for prayer, and now the baby is out.
Yeah.
Who owns the child? Hmm?
5 years ago.
Who owns the child? So questions. Who owns the child?